What a fucking segue. 6 degrees of
I
Southern bacon.
enjoy Liev Schreiber. I think he's a great narrator, and he's a decent actor.
Morgan
Kate
Freeman.
Leopold, objectively alright movie. Hugh Jackman is also in that movie. They kind of got a duo thing going.
You know what we have going? The beginning of this podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Tangent Podcast. Episode 187 for the week of October 8th, 2018. I'm your host, Brian Thomas, alongside the Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore,
Hello.
and the politician himself, Brendan Cox.
What's up?
And we're the podcast for the site pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing and we talk about the news that we fucking enjoy. Steve, can you throw up our little Twitter handles there for us?
Let me
Because everyone needs to know where you
let
can
me
find us
send
on
out
Twitter.
this sponsorship.
Get
You know what
your
I'm doing.
sponsor out
I
of
do
here.
this all the time.
Get
One
your
day,
more- first
one day
off-
it's gonna work.
They're
One day it's
not
gonna
a
work, guys.
sponsor.
They're not a
'cause they're not
sponsor.
paying.
You're giving them free advertising. That is what is happening right now.
It's called a carrot, and I want them to give us
yeah,
money.
but we know how much you good
We
at,
know how
how
much-
good you are at negotiating.
Well, I won't be negotiating this, but
Oh
they're
my
like,
goodness.
hey,
Anyways, and
Yeah,
we're going to
so-
be talking about the games that we've been playing during the week. And we're actually going to be talking about a little piece of news that I'm fucking pretty stoked about. And I actually think I'm just going to hop into that first because
Oh,
I
wow.
want to save
Ooh.
the video game talk for a little bit later. But
That's
for those of you that don't know, a spoiler, or I guess a leak, came out earlier this week where Harry Potter RPG has been leaked, and there's some footage. Anthony, have you seen the footage at all, or?
No, so I haven't seen what kind of RPG style they're
It
going for.
it's like a third-person kind of over-the-shoulder, like
Coats
almost.
next
It reminds me of more of like a KOTOR Gears
Yeah.
of War like style look to it, and it's. I think it's
but instead of bullets, you shoot a death curse at people.
yeah, and well, the thing is, you can
Yeah, but think of legal edge. Like
you can do like Cruciatus curses and kill people.
That's a nice. I'm glad you like.
Well, you can kill people, and
What's
then that
cursing
takes
you?
and then that.
No, I can tell
that
you're a real
carries weight.
fan because you're just like.
Yeah, well, I
know
mean,
that
it's
thing.
very Mass Effect E, is what I've kind
in
of.
terms of good or evil. Type.
Yeah, like good or evil, you can do curses, you can learn all these things. So
If
you're
you go coat, like you said, you're just taking the elements of the universe of Harry Potter and then mixing it. I mean, like Lord of the Rings did one of their games
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
KOTOR is a fantastic, just like taking the universe of Star Wars, but has nothing to do with like the mainline movies.
I think this is going to be. It's going to be called Harry Potter, but I don't think you play as Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I think you play. It's a custom.
You
Like
design
you
your
play a character.
Yeah.
And I think that you.
It's the way to go.
I don't know if it's before. I think it's in between. The Harry Potter books and the new Fantastic
Fantastic
Beasts movies, or book, I should say as well.
Well, that's a huge range, right?
yeah.
That will what,
So the
keep it as
Fantastic
broad as-
Beasts are set in like the 20s,
Yeah, and then
and Harry Potter is set in
Potter's-
the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's like, ooh, that'd be cool.
actually the
well, like the late 80s, early
early
90s, yeah.
So I think you play as a character in that time frame.
to keep things open.
Yeah, I think Harry Potter has plenty of lore.
I think so too.
To
I
do
think
it,
that, like with almost anything,
They've
really.
made a game, but it's
'Cause-
just like they haven't made a
yeah,
good.
it's like a Harry Potter spin-off game. They haven't
Yeah.
made like a really great game. And for me to, at first I thought like, no, this is definitely not real. Someone's made it up. But WB,
It looked fake.
well,
It was just a picture of a guy's face.
no. There was
This
video.
video.
Well, no, I saw a little bit of on.
Video?
It wasn't the exact video. It was a YouTube channel I watched, and it was
And
just, they were like, oh yeah, and yeah, I don't know who that guy is. It's not Harry Potter.
Well, you're not playing
think
as
it's
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
You're
He's-
playing as a customized character. And
so you get to make your.
Well, I
own
thought
list.
like in some games they put in like an ugly character in place of like
oh, I see.
because they
what
don't
you're
have the
saying.
rights.
It's a template.
Because I thought they would just use Daniel Radcliffe.
No, it's
not
gonna
Daniel
be-
Craig.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think
could
it's
be.
going to be.
The
You're not
Wizard
going to
World.
get. You're not going to get Daniel Radcliffe or Emma Watson. In
They
the
would love
game.
the money though.
They
Really?
do not need the money.
They do not need the money.
but
I didn't say they need the
anyways-
money. I say they would love
It
them.
would go to J.K. Rowling.
True.
anyway.
Maybe.
Excuse me, Mr. Radcliffe. We have this dump truck full of money. Do you want us to put in the back? Yeah, just put in the back
How
of the
they
rest.
get paid?
Throw
Is that how
throw
works?
that dump truck of cash just right in the back.
Daniel doesn't. I don't think
He does a bunch of
doesn't
movies.
give a
He's still
shit about
doing
it, yeah.
movies in Broadway.
He's
the only one.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He was in that movie with
Yeah, but he's probably doesn't want to
thing.
be known for
You know?
Harry
Right.
Potter. That's kind of why he wanted to stop doing it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He
Well,
wanted to
I
be
mean,
known for one role.
Well, he's typecast like James Bond, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that forever.
He
Um,
will
yeah,
get
but-
royalty checks
Forever.
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. he's not going to do anything for the money.
J.K. Rowling lives in a castle.
He's going to be a person that's going to do like passion projects.
Yeah.
For the rest of his
No,
life.
he's a decent actor, and
Anyways,
my
I'm going to
point.
stray us back to the video game conversation because
yeah.
yes, he's a great actor. Doesn't really matter because I don't think he's going to be in the game. I think James and Lily Potter might be in the game, his parents. But I also think
It's like
that
side character.
So you think it's like set in the 70s and like 80s, like
you don't really
20s
know
stuff.
how old his parents were when they had them, or at least I don't. But either way, like other older characters could be in the game. But what makes me think that this was real is that WB shut the shit down immediately. The moment it leaked, they were like, nope, get that out of here. So I'm thinking this was going to be one of those games that they announced at the Game Awards, right? Because the
That'd be
Game Awards
just
are coming up in December.
is Spike still doing them?
No, Spike hasn't
TV
done it
doesn't
in a
even
while.
exist, doesn't it?
I don't think Spike TV exists anymore. But I don't watch cable, but it's basically the same thing.
Or
It's
whatever.
just now streamed.
Is it Esquire now?
Yeah, I don't know who took over.
Brandon,
Yeah.
you're focusing on all
Who
the wrong things.
hosts the Game Awards?
Jeff Keighley.
We just want to see the new games that are shown at the Game Awards. That's all
It's
we care
not.
about.
It's not done by Spike or anybody. It's just the Game Awards. They do it themselves.
They have some band. And,
But wait, why won't they wait till like there must be another gaming?
it's a pretty
It's
significant event.
It's a big significant event at the end of the
You
year.
win an award in a game.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
the
like-
Oscars for gaming.
They also release games. They announce games at this event.
Oh, I just didn't think it was as big as.
Well, Brandon, get
You
your
should
shit
put- yeah.
together.
I've seen it.
You want?
No, you haven't.
You want to be in the gaming world?
You
Then
saw
again-
it on Spike.
I saw on Spike, and did they do it on G4 when
Yeah.
that was a thing?
They did it on G4 for a while, and then they did it on Spike. And again, you're focusing on all the wrong things.
I know.
wanna
I'm
see
just
new content,
just
that's all.
spitballing at you.
No,
You know, I'm excited for it too, but it seems like it's a far off thing. To be 100% honest with
Well,
you.
I think that I think I would see it at the end of 2019, early 2020, because if they announce it at the end of this year, it's like all right, because they already have gameplay footage like that leaked.
Yeah.
So you have shit to show off. So I think that you're gonna get something soon. But I'm really excited about it. Brandon, I know that you're a little excited about something. You really want to get off your chest.
What?
Say it.
Assassin's Creed. It's Assassin's Creed Origins.
Well, do you
or
want?
not Origins.
Odyssey.
Yeah, just chill out, man.
It's the same fucking
yeah,
game. It's the same
really,
game.
It is.
Yeah, that's the big news. That's the big news this week. I mean,
That's the
So-
big news for Brandon. Let's clarify that.
well,
For nobody else.
this. All right, so this is a good game. I know that I suck the teat of Ubisoft.
you suck Assassin's Creed.
Wait, yeah. What other?
Oh, there was the
schmeckle.
news that Vivendi is selling their stake in it.
Good, because
So
they
they're
suck.
going more independent. Well,
Yeah,
no,
well,
they're
I
going
like
back to what they
Ubisoft.
were.
Vivendi can go away.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
But-
Vivendi bought them back in 2000.
Yeah, and they tried to do the hostile takeover.
Yeah.
It just didn't
Vivendi
work.
didn't-
We
Well, they
we
did.
covered
No,
that.
but they did take them over.
No,
No, it
they,
didn't
they
work.
tried. It
They-
never
remember
worked.
But
we-
they just own a bunch of stock of it.
Yeah, and then, they
So
sold it.
they're done.
So, Brandon, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can choose two different characters, right? You can play as Cassandra or Alexios.
Yes, well,
And
that's
Anthony, you've also been playing this, right?
I have been playing this. Yes.
Okay, so for the audio listeners, you're not seeing the gorgeous fucking graphics on this game. You're both playing on. You're playing on Xbox One. You're playing on PS4.
Yep.
You're both schlubs because you don't have a One or a PS4 Pro.
Wow. Just because he upgrades recently.
Hey,
On X.
yeah, that's true.
so.
Wow.
All I'm saying is this looks better than your TV does.
So there's a
It
lot.
does.
There's a lot to unpack with this game.
What is there to unpack?
There's a lot to unpack.
I packed
if you
shit. Dove right in there.
if you played Origins, you're playing.
The same game.
No, it's not the same game by any means, but it feels similar. It feels similar, but it's so much more polished. The way I describe it is Assassin's Creed Odyssey is like Assassin's Creed Origins, more smoother, more RPG elements, and I think it's bringing the franchise full circle because this is something that Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed franchise have been working towards to make it a full-fledged RPG since, I would say, the inception.
So you think that this is like a full-fledged RPG like The Witcher?
Yes. That is their
No,
intent.
I mean, yeah, you gotta look at like going.
No,
from
The Witcher. The Witcher.
two-
I mean,
it's not even that. 2 to 3 was the drastic.
sure, yeah. 2 to 3 did what it did, but we're in a
Did a
new
lot.
age, and Ubisoft has been trying to bring this franchise in to
Where does this take place?
Greece.
ancient Greece
Okay.
during the Peloponnesian War.
And you get to choose the you could choose Greece or Sparta, right?
No, I was incorrect with that assumption.
No, yeah.
You play as
A Spartan.
a Spartan, but you are.
You can go story-wise if you want. It's not really spoiling.
Yeah, it's not spoiling it. So, you are raised as a Spartan, but you are exiled and
From Greece or from
You run
Sparta?
away.
from Sparta.
You kinda
from,
run away.
And then you are essentially a mercenary for hire.
Okay, so maybe you haven't gotten this far, but maybe you can choose?
Well, so there's a mechanic called conquest. So it's set during the Peloponnesian War. So the cities, all the city-states of Greece are fighting each other.
Okay.
But the main combatants are Athens and Sparta.
There's a war going on
So
at the time.
the map is divided
By red
into
and- red and blue.
sectors that are controlled by either Athens or Sparta, and you can aid the war front by helping out, by like either killing people.
So you're not technically like choosing a side. You're just
Yeah.
like, I just want Greece to win, or I want
Yeah.
You
Sparta
take.
to
Well, I
win.
mean, it's more with the mercer. You take wherever the work is. Whoever pays
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
most
If
is
you want the
kinda-
most loot and the most benefit and the most experience, you're gonna play both sides, depending on what region you are in.
Gotcha.
And I just actually found that out today because I was working with the Spartans in one place, and I went to this other place, and then there it was
opposite side.
it was controlled by Sparta, and I was like, what do I do? And I'm like, I have to like explore this certain region, or I like this certain like base, and if I kill Spartans, it's going to take away from their control of the region. So if I kill a lot of Spartans, they're going to lose control of the region, and Athens going to take control over it.
So are there like bad guys like in normal Assassin's Creed games? Because it doesn't seem like, at least the way that it kind of is working out. So like the last Assassin's Creed game I really played was Syndicate. I played Origins. I didn't like it, so I stopped. But with Origins, there were
There was a clear
guards
cut,
and there was
yeah.
a clear like enemy. Is there that in this game? Like, or do you find it like there are heads of the Spartan and Athenian, I guess, armies, and you decide what you kind of who you want to take out?
There are both.
Okay.
So you have
Clear cut.
you have the grunts, and you have like lieutenants, and you have if you commit crimes like kill innocent people, or, like sink ships on the high seas,
It's a bounty.
or steal things, you'll have people that chase you, who I do believe you can recruit. You can also recruit enemy lieutenants that are
kill
hunting
'em.
you down, right? Or you could kill them.
I kill him.
I recruit them because when you recruit them, they go on your ship, and the ship is a very key component to exploration.
But then
I
I can't
take it
loot.
you're going around the Mediterranean.
I can't loot their gear though.
You're going around the Aegean, yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, this covers all of Greece.
Okay.
So you're going to every city-state, and the biggest way to traverse is through naval.
Just taking your ship.
Yeah.
And so those lieutenants that you take, those lieutenants then like augment your ship. So it's like
Plus
Yeah.
5.
Let's say-
it's plus 5's like arrows.
They give you
They're-
benefits
if
to
you,
that.
if you took Legolas, right, and you were like, hey, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to bring you on
Yeah.
my boat, he's going to fucking shoot arrows like crazy.
It's gonna give you a bonus in arrow.
Well,
damage.
yeah.
Correct.
So it's gonna like
Each have
improve
perks.
the damage of your ship, improve like the strength of your
But you
ship.
can only do more lieutenants
Speed.
if you upgrade the hull.
Yeah.
So you get one to begin with, and then like you need materials like iron and wood.
I just want to talk really quickly. So
the
the
speed.
audio listener, I'm sorry, but this is a tangent for video listeners. This person just Spartan kicked a bear to the point where the bear flew away.
Yeah, I love the Spartan kick.
That seems a little OP.
No, when
unrealistic.
so you can upgrade the Spartan kick. When I saw the Spartan kick
can.
in like the trailers, I thought this is idiotic. But
Then using it.
Then
on
you
everything.
realize you're playing a video game.
No, no,
and
no.
You're gonna try and have fun.
the Spartan kick is very integrated into the combat.
But that is so bullshit.
It's a
She
knock-
just
it's a-
kicked a full-grown brown
It's a
bear.
guaranteed. It's a stun. I believe.
It's a stun, but you can also use it to your advantage because you can have like a strong mercenary who's like above your level where you can't kill regularly.
You
And-
just kick him off cliff.
Exactly, you can like lead them to a cliff and stuff like that. So there is a little bit of a strategy. It's not a permanent stun, and you do have to work on upgrading it. So, but I found it is very integrated in the overall combat system. It's not like you're waiting and then you just kick and then it's automatic.
Let's
to-
talk about the combat system because that was a huge issue
It was.
for me
right.
in Origins. So in Origins, it sucked. like badly. It was so bad to the point where I stopped playing the game.
So me and Anthony disagree with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say how I describe it. The way I describe it is not similar. It feels like Origins combat,
yeah, but
they have smoothed it out to a very functional system.
So, like I said, he hated the Origins card compared to other games. It is not. It's not the greatest.
No,
I agree to that. It's not terrible,
Yeah.
but in here, like I said, my biggest pet peeve with this thing was like I can't block. Mm-hmm. You have to parry everything. There's a time
Or
limit on the
dodge.
parry,
Yes.
and if you get surrounded, it does make it a little more like difficult.
To
Like,
actually have a
especially when you're going to take down. Like I'm not a sneak person.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Assassin's Creed might not be the game for you.
But like in Origins, you could still do
Yeah.
like you could kill like you didn't have the same kind of problem.
So I want to say this to you. I think what you gotta sneak. You gotta.
I'm never gonna.
Well,
so
no,
I'm gonna beat this game
It wants
without
you to.
doing that.
If you go into a base, it wants you to kind of.
yeah, I don't care what it tells me to do.
I know, but in terms of the combat,
So
to make a sneaky character, you kind of need the maneuverability.
No, I'm just gonna upgrade my
Like, the
warrior
problem-
skills and just fucking keep trying to stun people with Spartan kicks.
Like this,
and then,
like-
upgrade my gear.
Like
So let
if
me-
you look, you're very maneuverable.
Let
and you're
me
kind
ask
of,
you. So, Anthony, you like the combat, you like the combat approach. You don't like the stealth, the stealthy approach.
I don't stick to sneak, so like I'll kill one or two. Like
And
even
then
with
when shit
Dishonored,
hits the fan,
yeah,
you
it's
just
full.
kill.
It's full combat.
So, do you like the combat besides the fact you cannot block? Like, is the combat fluid? Like, I know you have the pet peeve that you can't block, but like, do you find that the combat is broken? Like, I found the combat to be broken in Origins.
One-on-one, it's brilliant. But like I said, with multiple enemies, you can't string together a combo to kind of stop.
And Brandon, you agree with that? You say that if there's more than one or two if there's 3 characters that are surrounding you.
Here's the thing: the time frame or the frame you have to time the parry for certain blocks isn't consistent. Like you can't do it if 2 people attack you with a sword at once.
you're right.
It doesn't give you
You can block them both, and
You can.
you can push them away.
But if it's off by a slight amount
Yeah.
of time, you get hit.
So with the defensive systems in this game, timing is very important, and it's easy to do, but it's hard to master. Much like Batman, where the combat it's intuitive.
Batman's not because Batman's like fluid as fuck.
This is a very fluid combat for me. Like
not
to me,
Batman
I mean, I've played Origin fairly recently. It's very janky. You put up your shield, you're waiting for someone to respond, and while you're charging your sword, and then you block, and then you hit the sword. This is much more fluid.
If you consistently
you're moving around. Yeah, I mean, but that's up to the player. In Origins, you were kind of just going through the motions of what you had to do. Every encounter was the same. In this, you kind of have to.
No, how is that not like this is forcing you not to play by like your own, like not being able to block and not having a shield forces you to play that certain play style. Like it does give you the option.
I admit
to, like,
you should have the option to have a shield, and that would be a nice armor bonus.
you Spartan like a shield.
But I think, especially with this game, if you want a mix of sneaky and good combat, it wants to make you more maneuverable, right?
It's quicker combat. I'll give you that. But I mean, like I said before, that doesn't necessarily guarantee
What's happening with this hawk or this eagle thing?
you
Oh,
scalp
yeah, this is like in Origins. This was
Did they introduce that in
Senu.
Origins?
Yeah.
Senu you had, but this is Icarus.
Oh, I like
It's given
Icarus
to you
way
by
more.
the Greek god.
It's
of
true, yeah.
Zeus.
That's a good. It's a
Icarus is a better name than Senu.
Icarus
for
is a
sure.
pretty good name.
well, Icarus is. You're familiar with the myth of
Yeah,
Icarus,
fly
yeah?
too close to the sun.
Yeah, so it's
I gotcha.
nice.
I follow Greek. Oh, that
We
didn't
read that
look-
in
Yeah.
7th grade.
So yeah. So and the funny thing is, so there's not exactly assassinations because this predates the assassins.
So what's the deal with that?
ball stab and then
I haven't progressed enough in the story to really find out.
No, I don't want to. I don't know. So when you sneak up on somebody, how do you kill them? You just stab them in the throat.
You have two choices. You
can knock 'em out, or-
well, you have a broken spear of Leonidas because you are playing as Leonidas' descendants.
Okay.
For the listeners at home, Leonidas was the
main
Greek
character, in
king of
300.
Sparta during the Battle of Thermopylae.
Which they show in the beginning.
You do play.
Does Gerard Butler make an appearance in this game?
No.
I wish he did, but no.
That would have been fucking amazing. If they were like 300 is actually in the Assassin's Creed universe. Yeah, give that to me, please. I would have
Just
bought
a
the
replica,
game. I would have bought the
Well,
game.
yeah.
Had you told me Gerard Butler was in the beginning of this game, I would have.
If you could choose, if you use a secret character, like, oh, wait, you
Yeah.
got 2 characters. No, you got 3.
Yeah.
It's Gerard Butler.
There
to the
is
right.
some mythological elements to this game, which I think is interesting.
Sure. So, what sets this apart? So, as of right now, there's no hidden blade. But what sets this apart from any other Assassin's Creed game? Like, am I gonna enjoy this, or am I gonna play this for 7 hours and then stop playing it?
No, I think this is a new frontier. I think this is. I mean, this is
It's an improved Origin.
like going from the plane to the rocket ship to me.
Okay. But why though? Like, is
I
there
mean-
any exploration elements? Like, I saw
Oh.
that you can can you
Well,
climb
that's-
on anything? Like,
Yeah, so
This is the biggest Assassin's Creed map.
Brandon, that deters me.
Oh,
A
really?
bigger map makes me.
Origin was pretty. I can't
Origins was way too large.
Origins was a bad map because it was just all desert. Not that.
Well,
Not
it
that. Not
wasn't.
that it was
I
a
mean, I
bad map.
expected that.
Not that it was a bad map,
Ancient
but the
Egypt.
region was just.
This,
Dry.
this is all
No
water.
pun
It was dry, yeah,
Oh,
but this is
shit.
much more diverse.
You're welcome for that pun, that amazing pun.
You have woodlands. You have
The ocean.
arid regions. You have the ocean. You have. It seems like a much diverse. There's much more diversity of places to go.
That guy has a shield. Why can't you steal his shield?
So
Well,
kind
so that you can break his shield.
you can't
That
take
you
it.
should, but you can't steal it.
You can't steal it. No.
Okay.
There's
so
no,
I
there's
mean,
no shields. At least as far as, like I said, unless further down the line they give it
Oh,
to you.
I don't
this
know. I mean, it's-
White Tiger is fucking.
Oh, that's a bobcat, I think. And that happened to me today. It climbs on your back, and you gotta like get it
Shimmy
off.
it
you
off.
know.
yeah.
But there is so much diversity in this game with ruins and places to see.
So is there still the structure of go to this area, get the synchronization point, kill all these little, like, wipe out this fortress? Is there anything new to the structure of Assassin's
What was the
Creed
addition that
games?
set this kind of?
So the structure. So essentially, this base, kill these guys, do this stuff, is there.
Mm-hmm.
What sets it apart is the storytelling. So they are trying to go for more RPG elements. So what they're doing is now you have dialogue options, which you never had before.
Yeah.
And it definitely changes the story because you can choose what happens and you feel the weight of your choices.
decisions.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'll definitely
much like
give
a
them-
biofield.
I'll give you this because, like I said before, in the beginning of the game, I do know the significance of like there's a guy that runs that city, and you have the choice of either spending your money to buy a boat to leave,
Yeah.
or you can kill him. If you kill him, it also saves the guy who took you in as a kid.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little symbol next to it. Same with like if you tried to pick up the girl on the island. If you did the side quest, it shows you like what your dialogue options are for like relationships, and it gives you the scale.
You can
for-
romance them.
So are these very similar? It's kind of Mass Effect E.
Very
Yeah.
similar, yeah. But not without the pipe dream of just like your decision makes it. So,
I don't know. I don't know that. I mean,
Well,
like,
I don't know. Yeah, we haven't played it. So
I'm hoping it does.
I have a good anecdote for this. I was playing a mission. I was on the island, and this girl who's friends with the guy who helped me as a kid told me to help these people in this plague.
Phoebe.
Yeah, this plague infested area, right? I got there, and the priest said, "Hey, you can't let these people go. They could be infected."
Well, he burns down the whole.
Yeah,
So he wipes out the whole-
he burns down the village, and he has these people at like being guarded, and he says, "Hey, you cannot let these people go. They're going to infect everybody else. They may be infected. We don't know." And you had a definite choice between letting these people go and like every place getting infected, or letting them die, letting them be killed. And I felt, and that decision, I felt the weight of that, and I was like,
Well, no. Do you feel that, or does it come up and
Yeah,
bite
this
you
is-
in the ass
this-
later in this?
I'm telling you from a gaming standpoint, I felt the weight of that decision.
Yeah, but
Okay.
so like I said, I did the same thing, and I was like I said, I'm hoping it plays a role. Same with like if you,
Wait, what did you do? Did you choose to
I
kill the
chose
people?
I killed the priest.
Oh, you killed the priest. That's
Yeah.
not what I chose. I chose to leave the people to their fate.
No, because I killed the priest.
You know,
Anthony decided to kill every person on that island
Well,
and
you
then
could've-
burn the
it lets
island.
well,
you-
because
to
if
the
you
ground.
let the people go,
He
they can
kills them.
infect everybody.
Yeah, and they're fine.
No, that could doom the island
It's a
to
fever.
I don't
yeah,
know,
fever
don't-
spread and kill people.
No,
Anthony's more of a loose cannon cop
It
on
may-
the edge.
it
and
may-
I think
Yeah,
that you're the
no,
accountant.
no.
I took a more utilitarian sort of
I
standpoint.
got the impression the dude was like, it was just like a common like fever, and he was kind of like, dude, he burnt down a whole like that, and then like the people,
yeah,
even
he
said,
was
like,
just trying to cleanse the village of fever.
because they didn't have the proper healing. Had they got the proper healing, they'll be fine.
Oh, that's not the way I interpret it. And,
Well, that's the
and
dialogue
that's
that I
actually
got.
that's a good point. That's what
I want to.
Assassin's Creed never had these decisions before, and now
You kind of have to make.
it's much more dynamic.
She
What's the deal with all of these fucking different armor pieces that I'm finding? It's like
So they have introduced a loot system.
Mm-hmm.
Origins had a
have
kind of a loot system.
Yeah.
But this is much more. This is
are
much
you
more
just
different.
always finding new armor that you're switching out? Or?
Yes.
Well, because I loot from everybody.
Yeah,
I
you-
kill everyone. And loot
So
them.
does everything change? So like if you find like a golden gauntlet, is your character now going to wear a golden gauntlet? Okay, so
and it's going to
everything-
have different perks.
Problem with this was, which I don't kind of like, it's based off your level.
Okay.
I hear that you can level up certain items so that if you found a lower level item
At a time.
at a time,
All right.
that like you were like, oh, I'm level 13 right now, but
I want it to
I'm
be
now
level
level
50.
40. I want to bring that item up. I guess you can with leveling that item up. Have you experienced that?
Yeah,
at all?
I have. I've done that a lot. And you get other perks too when you level up called engravings, and you can engrave your pieces of armor to give them an extra perk like
Enhancement.
like 2+ health.
So if it's like a green item, right, and
Costs
then
another shit.
you level it up to like a purple item,
Yeah.
it has the original perk it had, but then it might have it might level that perk up, but then also get two additional things or something.
Yeah.
yes, I'm actually interested in Anthony, your opinion of the loot system, because you play a lot of games with loot systems.
Loot everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you feel this stands up with other games that have loot systems? Because I feel it is a trend in the industry that people like looting.
It's more based off kind of the loot, like what you're looting and what they're like whole. Like if you see like the weapon tree for everything, that's really all it is. I think because the basic looting is you kill them and loot them, or you can steal. Like if you did the sneak element and you could pickpocket them and take their stuff,
Yeah.
it'd be different. Other than that, it's pretty simple. I mean,
It's
there's no
so, but
complication
do you
to-
think it suffers from the simplicity, or do you think it fits?
it fits fine because that's normally what you would do.
Okay.
Do you?
I mean, it's not like Fallout.
Do you
where
wish
you're-
Does it
'cause
feel
you
like-
don't
Do you
make-
wish it was more complicated? There's a little more depth to it.
The only thing they could have done more complicated is if you could steal gold from people while sneaking around is the only thing they could have added for a complication. Because then it would have given you the added bonus of element of how difficult it was
see.
to sneak. But like I said, if it's someone like me, if I see a piece of armor I want, which you're not guaranteed it, you kill somebody.
You're not guaranteed that armor.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to loot them anyway.
Oh, I see. Like if they're wearing a helmet you want.
Correct.
You can
This is
take
why I
that helmet.
kind of kill like, oh, this helmet looks badass. It's a
It's
Spartan
it's
helmet.
a prearranged thing that they have on their persons.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Well, you can loot them, but you have
But
to,
you're not
you
guaranteed.
have to murder them to do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Anthony has zero problem. I think you're.
I don't know, I
you're
mean-
thinking that Anthony has a
there's-
heart. Anthony is a stone cold
There's no
murderer.
problem.
No, sometimes, like if I'm like at a base and I see like, oh, these guys are level 9, I'll just go in there full Spartan and just like, come on guys, let's go. And
But if they're a little higher, you'll kind of be a little bit more
well, I
strategic.
usually like to soften them up with like assassinating them, but then it's like, hey,
But
all
think-
my friends are dead. What's going on? And then it's just like,
I mean, this one also plays the problem with, I guess, the leveling is like, if they're a few levels ahead of you, it makes it a little bit more, like, you almost can't win.
yeah.
What
If they're
about
like
the
5
naval-
levels up, you cannot defeat them.
yeah.
What about
unless
the
you
naval
kick
combat?
them off.
Is it similar to 3?
Well, it's 4. Black
Well,
Flag is
sure.
Get your
I didn't
shit
play.
correct, Brian.
I didn't play 4. 3 introduced naval combat.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were right, but
So
but
you can-
Oh, so Cox, you get your shit.
so this is like
Apologies.
it's like Black Flag, but more streamlined and kind of
Not as good as Sea of Thieves. You can say it.
no. So like in 4, Assassin's
don't,
Creed
but-
Black Flag,
Yeah.
naval combat was the main thing. You had to do that. You have to do in this
This
game.
seems
but
like you have to do it too.
don't. It shows you how to do it, but I've been avoiding, like, a lot of this.
Yeah.
I just keep going.
So
Like a fucking.
You ain't got time for that.
Well, because like I said, boarding the
Let me
boat and
describe
then.
this. So in 4, naval combat was you had to do it. It was like
I'm
there's-
gonna stop you
there
right
was
there.
land.
It's optional. That's the word you're looking for.
No, it's not optional.
in
You
this.
have it's the most effective way to transverse.
Yeah.
to traverse the world.
Traverse
Fight
the world.
people and-
But I'm asking about the combat.
Combat.
The naval combat.
Yes.
have
Well, the
to-
exploration and naval combat kind of go hand in hand.
Well, do
No.
you have to do it? Like, how does it work? Does it work like
Yes,
here?
there's some missions that require you to attack other boats, but most of it you can.
Does it play like 3 or 4?
It's better.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
What I'm trying to explain to you is, in 4 there was a clear divide between you being on land and you being at sea. In this, it's much more integrated into the system.
How?
Well, you don't
Like,
actually
how,
hit- you don't
how
have
do you
to.
define?
So when I'm on land,
Yeah, you know
attacking
you're
a
on
base,
land.
I feel. And versus when I'm at sea attacking a ship, it feels like the same thing. I don't feel like there's any new system or any other thing I'm doing
So
differently.
you're telling me that you, as you're playing the boat, shooting, are you shooting cannons? Like, what are you shooting?
You're
arrows,
shooting
and-
arrows, and or you're
But how does that work when you're steering the boat?
You hit L2. You hit L2.
yeah, it's different buttons.
Okay,
And
so
because you can only
you're
shoot
telling
from the
me that
sides.
it feels the same as if you were on your feet.
Exactly.
How does that work?
Because
No, I don't mean.
I know
'Cause you know
when
you're on a boat.
When I mean, yeah, it's not the same thing, but it feels. It's just a feeling. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It's
So you think so? It's just better combat. It's not. There are different mechanics, of course, because it's 2 different things. It's like
it is, yeah,
fist to
but
fist combat
it-
versus
but it's
a boat.
yeah, but it's smoother. It works.
I'm not asking about it
Yeah, I know.
in comparison to
Mm-hmm.
the normal combat. I'm just wondering. I was wondering, how does naval combat work?
Oh, from a very okay.
I think you're like pinpointing.
yeah. All right.
I just want to know, how is naval combat?
It's so essentially you have a boat. You can explore parts of the sea.
It's
and
a simple.
It takes you to
I like it.
places. You see other boats that you can raid.
I'm gonna stop you there.
I
So
don't,
you have to pull up.
You have no idea
Yeah,
what I'm
so
asking.
No, I don't.
So
I'll
Anthony,
take care of this.
So I am piloting I am steering the ship.
Got ya.
There's a pirate ship coming at me. How do I? What is the deal here? So I just kind of turn my boat so that way my
Yep.
arrows can or javelin can hit that other boat.
Exactly.
Now I decide I want to. You're grounded for the next
know,
30
so you're
seconds.
asking.
So I decide I want to hop onto that boat.
Triangle. We have to get close enough to
Yep.
board dock, and it actually shifts the boat and lines it up with theirs, so you can jump onto. The
Okay,
boat.
so then what happens? Does the boat stop moving? The boats are just like
both boats stop moving. They're lined up, and when you hop on, you fight all the people onto the.
all right, perfect.
And it's regular combat from there.
Anthony, thank you for that breakdown
You're
of
welcome.
naval
I
combat.
actually do like the simplicity of that.
I'm sorry that I didn't know you wanted
You were-
that specific.
I needed to know what it was. You
So-
were just talking about.
It was my fault.
Nothing.
I thought you were going. I thought you were. You had an understanding of what this was.
I wanted to know what it was, and that's it.
But I want to say, historically and in this game, the best way to defeat a ship is by ramming it.
Okay.
You can't do that. Yeah.
Doesn't that damage your own
Yeah, you
ship?
can.
I know. I just said you could. It does. It does damage your own ship. yeah.
Okay.
No. It doesn't
It's
damage.
gotta.
Yeah, it does.
Well, no, they're firing at you as you're going in, but if you're charging your ship as they roll
believe-
fast, you can split the ship in half.
Yeah, but
I think
doesn't
it
that?
damages. Yeah, I think it damages your ship.
No, I think that's them shooting arrows at you as you're progressing
I
forward.
mean, if it's not, that's a shitty. Like, it's
Yeah.
got to damage your ship.
you have a bronze ram in front of your ship, and historically, this is what they did. Most of it wasn't. I mean, some of it was engagements ship to ship,
But
but
it was
most of what you're
mostly
doing,
just-
you're trying
Yeah,
to
but you
sink
get-
the
you're
ship.
getting
with a
the
ram.
angle.
That's
Yeah.
a little
The angle.
boat though. If like that, the one that they do for like the explanation of the combat, the ship's the same size as yours. I believe when I rammed it, I doesn't cut it. Like I think I got damaged.
Did you was it a direct angle, or you kind of
Well, the
against
boat
it?
kind of moved. Like you can't go through it, so
Yeah.
it pushes your boat to the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so
If you hit directly, you're not going to get damaged.
Anthony, are you enjoying the game? Because I can tell you right now. I know that you're enjoying the shit out of it. Do you think it's the best in the series, Cox?
Yes.
You think it's better?
I
than
honestly,
2?
I honestly do. I mean, actually, I can say this for a fact. I recently played 2, the remastered, and 2 did what it did when it did it, and this just changes the game, and that's very important. This brings it into a new light, and this is a new Assassin's Creed for a new generation.
Anthony, Do you think that this takes a lot of things from Breath of the Wild and tries to implement it into Assassin's Creed? Because that's what I'm seeing.
There are elements to. They definitely took even from previous, I think, Assassin's Creed, and then tried to incorporate, like you said, the ship battles. I think they may have realized their flaw in the other one.
And they kind of fixed
The
some
climbing
stuff.
thing's definitely from Breath of the Wild, which is you
Okay.
can climb everything. But like I said,
Assassin's Creed is climbing.
I would call it a reskin of Origins. It is an improvement. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah.
is.
Do you? I don't think I've ever really asked you this, but you almost get every Assassin's Creed game, right? Like,
No, I'll pass two. The only reason why I actually got Origins in the same, like, I do like Egyptian mythology as well as Greece. So a lot of that plays a role into
why you picked it up.
Yeah, it's just seeing that. Like, you get a lot of historical factors of things.
No,
Do you like? So I should ask: do you like Assassin's Creed, like as a franchise?
I mean, the past two have been pretty good. Like I said, the only one I played before I think was 2.
Okay, so
Like I
do you
said,
think you'll finish this game? Because did you finish?
didn't
Origins?
finish Origins. It's more of a commitment. That's kind of the thing. This might be hindered by combat. I kind of have to see.
Yeah. Okay. Because what I'm doing is I'm
Debating. Whether
I'm
or not.
debating on whether or not to get it, and I can tell you right now, it won't be anytime soon.
If
But
this is a red box for you, this is
Yeah.
how I'm going to classify this.
here's the thing. I know I am a Assassin's Creed convert. I know that for a fact.
I'm not going to lie to you. Anything you say, I'm going to take with a grain of salt and a shot of penicillin.
Wow.
But I know people as a whole have franchise fatigue with this, and I can understand that. It's been 12 years. That's a long time
Sure.
for any sort of thing,
But you're-
movies or whatever. But
That's shitty.
Are
sure.
you talking? Are you talking to me or people in general?
well, I'm sure other
Well,
people, I'm talking to you, but I'm sure
you-
other people have your opinion.
As a standalone game,
My big opinion right now is that this game does nothing for me to make me want to go out and buy
I
it.
think you got to appreciate the changes they've made, and
But
the vision for their franchise, right? Because they do. They have a definite vision of what they
And
want from their
that's
franchise.
Great, but the problem is that other franchises have already done these things and have already
Yeah.
encountered
Yeah, but I'm
that.
sure other franchises have I'm sure Zelda is building up. Breath of the Wild is different because of what other franchises have done, right?
Yeah, but they also
But
introduced
we
a lot
like
of
their own.
but
But
we
what I'm
like
saying-
Zelda because it's Zelda, right?
No, no, no.
But this
What
wasn't
I'm
like
sa-
Breath of the
you're
Wild.
Don't
missing-
get
you're
into this
missing the point.
conversation.
Well,
You're
no,
missing
Zelda
the
is an
point.
example, right? So Halo, right?
You're still missing the point. I'm saying I've already experienced these things. You haven't because you haven't played those games. You've only played Assassin's Creed open world games. You haven't played other open world games. So I've experienced those things in a much broader sense because I've played the Tomb Raider games. I've played Horizon. I've played God of War. All of these games that have already done all of these things
Yeah.
and better. It's just you haven't
But
experienced
you can make
that.
the argument that the new God of War is the way it is because of things that preceded it, right?
Yeah, but the problem with that is I've played those preceded games.
But does that make God of War a worse game because they're taking
No,
influences?
but it doesn't make me like
I know
God
it
of War
doesn't-
comes out and it makes me want to play that game because it does something new. This newest, what I'm trying to get out of
was-
you is, does this Assassin's Creed game do anything new?
different. Does
for
it differ
Brian?
enough to actually? Like,
Does it justify going out and spending money? It's not even spending money; it's spending time with it.
you have Origins.
All right.
I have.
And it
Origins.
also, I imagine it also has, does it do anything new enough in that universe?
No.
couldn't tell you.
Because that would be my thought.
well,
Because
Anthony,
that's what
I'm,
makes.
I'm wanting potential.
You brought your
what do
Zelda
you mean by
argument
no?
up.
Because there's not a lot of like future stuff in it, and there's not
I don't know. Post game is a lot of where, but
My
there's not
point.
any assassin stuff.
You brought
This
up
is
the
not-
Zelda argument,
hold on.
and Zelda's never done an open world in that way. Well, actually, it did, the original.
Yes,
Sure.
But
but you get what I'm saying? Like it's a long-running franchise, and they borrowed elements from games that have been successful, and that's why Breath of the Wild is so different. Because
yeah, but they also did. They borrowed some stuff, and they
they
made a lot of new
just
shit.
because you borrow stuff doesn't make it any worse. It just
No,
means that
it's-
you.
But
but
you're
you're missing.
not- you're
You're
missing-
still
you're
missing
still
what I'm
missing the
asking. I'm
point.
asking.
I know. I'm trying to get to that.
I'm asking, is it like it might be worth it for you because you haven't experienced these new things? I already have, so it's going.
I know.
To
I'm
be
trying to say what makes
retread
it
the same thing.
What makes it beneficial for Brian, right? Why?
this is your problem, I think.
well, you liked Syndicate.
You're trying
right?
to sell it for him. He's
Brian's been a
telling
tough
you.
I mean, I love it.
He's actually just asking. I think he's just asking you.
I'm asking you.
Is it worth it?
I think
say
it's
yes
worth,
or no.
I think
is it worth it to you because you missed out on all that shit?
I think
just say yes or no.
I think Brian would enjoy this game. I think Brian would find something to enjoy.
That's not the point.
No, it doesn't.
Brian might.
Yeah.
In a couple months when everything slows down.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying is there's no.
In the
you don't-
beginning,
you don't have anything that's new that I haven't already experienced.
And
Like, that's what I'm looking for in video games.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that was maybe
Okay.
Brian's problem with Zelda.
When it first came out, I was
Because
playing Horizon,
he
it
was
the same
playing
thing.
games that
So I
didn't have as much. It didn't have like I have never played an open world game like that. Except I was also very drawn to the for Zelda. So and it's very much actually it's very much like that.
But that's it though. That's it. And I can't.
But you're trying to sell him on it.
I know, and I'm trying to sell him.
But that's
through
your problem.
my-
He's not asking you that.
I'm trying to sell him through my perspective.
Yeah, but
And that's not right. What I want to say is I think Brian will find something to enjoy in this.
And he will
I don't
in a
wanna-
couple months.
I don't want to have to go and try and to enjoy it. I want to know, does it do anything new in gaming that like makes it you kind of have to play this game, or is it this is a good Assassin's Creed game? This is a great open world game. It doesn't necessarily do something.
It's a good game. Like I said, a lot of it for me is going to be post game, where it can do something different. But if at the initial start, like I said, it doesn't. I'm going to say for you, like, I know you're not going to put in that 15 hours because you're not going to get, like, where Cox is now, there's nothing significantly different.
Yes.
That's my big thing. Like right now, I'm playing through Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I'm just going through the motions. Like it doesn't do anything new. It's not really engaging. The story's all over the fucking
I was hoping
place.
Zeus fucking came down because that'd be fucking badass.
Maybe he does. You never
That's
know.
what I'm thinking. But like I said, is the juice worth the
I think
squeeze is kind of what.
You're trying to sell it as a day one purchase. Not that it's a day one.
Yeah.
And
correct.
There's only for me it was 2 games day one. It was Mario Odyssey.
It is a Black Friday
Breath of the Wild
game.
And because they did things either that I haven't done in gaming or
Spot and Kick is cool.
Or that propelled it. Like I think Brian liked Odyssey a lot because it did things that were unreal.
What?
And
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey.
Not Assassin's
Sorry.
Creed.
I was just like, whoa.
Well, that's the
What do we?
Mario Odyssey, which I agree with.
Yeah.
And that's why Brian was very excited
Enamored
about
with
it.
it.
Enamored with it. And I really like Breath of the Wild because I haven't played a lot of open world games.
Yeah.
And it was very similar to the original Zelda. And
This is all the universe.
A lot of other
other stuff.
Yeah.
And
So I think I get it.
The weather effects.
And
we need to
I think-
wrap this
I
up,
think-
however,
I
though.
think you are very stuck on like your what
So
you
what-
had to say, but not
What I want to
necessarily-
say is this.
So let's
Final
be the
thoughts.
final thought.
Yeah,
This is my final thoughts, folks. I like this game, not because it's an Assassin's Creed game, but because I like the immersion and being there, and it feels real. It feels like something. There's emotion.
Because it's a real time period. I mean, I'll give you that.
No, well, there's you could do a game like they've done Rome games where it's just a hack and slash, and there's no substance to it. This feels like I'm integrating into the world, and it feels it's a journey. It's called Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a reason. You're going on a journey.
Sure, but
and it's like when
Have it.
I'll let you have it,
I don't know. I think that's their intent.
We're just going to end it with whatever you want to end it with.
and that's okay.
That's their intent, but I can say you should play this game, and I hope that you'll like it. But it's like liking a movie that someone hasn't seen, and you're trying to explain it to them, and you're saying, "Hey, I really like this movie," and you're trying to put your feelings and put it into that person, and it doesn't always work.
Do you feel him,
I'm
Brian?
not putting
Do
anything
you
in
feel
it.
the
I
Cox?
feel Cox's thoughts inside of me.
And I know Brian likes. What do you
Wrap
call
it up. Come on.
I know.
You're
Give me a sec. I know you
What do you-
like what life experience. Like what do you call them?
First person experiences.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite there, but I think
Life adventures.
I think if you give it a chance, it could be. That's my.
I think you're trying to sell me on the story, and I don't give a shit about the story. That's
This-
like
yeah, this-
I don't care about the story. I don't care about the setting. What I care about is the
Gameplay.
game. And if the game doesn't do anything
I know,
different.
but you're making it so mechanical.
No, I'm not making it mechanical.
Where's
I've
But he can, though. That's
where's
his
the-
preference of
I know,
playing.
but where's the feeling? Where's the
Where-
heart?
All right.
you know where
not in
the heart
It's
is.
not
My
in it.
heart isn't in it because one, I don't give a shit about the time period, and two, the
Then-
characters don't seem interesting at all because you didn't bring them up whatsoever. So you didn't bring them up, neither did Anthony. So why the fuck would I care about these characters
well, we
if
have
you
a-
guys had nothing to say about them?
No, they're not interested.
I gave you
Yeah.
40 minutes.
yeah.
I gave you 40 minutes to talk about Assassin's
That's
Creed,
a
and
lot.
not a single
What are
thing
you talking
came
about? I
out.
talked about the whole village thing.
No, we
That is
both,
not
Hey.
a character.
Gerard Butler.
You
I
know
think
what we're
we
going to
talked
talk about
more.
next?
Yeah.
Super Mario Party, because that also came out yesterday, and I
Yep.
picked it up, and I sat
Yeah.
everybody down, and I was like, we're playing a game, a Super Mario Party. I don't give a shit.
Tied us to the chairs.
Yeah, I tied Anthony to his chair and gave him 2 hands because I wanted it to be a fair fight, and let's just call.
I didn't lose.
You didn't lose. You certainly didn't win.
Whoa,
And
whoa, coming from you.
I certainly didn't win either, but I certainly didn't lose. Well, I
middle
lost.
ground. We both were in
I
the
just-
middle.
I
Yeah.
just was
so you're
not
with
the best.
me.
Why don't
You're
we just
with me
come
on
out and
this
say
one.
who won?
Yeah.
God, Mike fucking won.
Yeah.
By
Cheating.
the most bullshit.
was-
Actually, so
It was pretty fun.
it was a
class.
great
It
great
was
game.
bullshit.
Steve and I
Neck and neck.
neck and neck for the last like 2 turns. We only played 10 turns.
Yeah.
Cox came out the gate hot. You were like first place for a long time.
Hot and heavy.
Someone
Actually, you know what's
and
weird, though?
someone stole my star.
To bring this up, you were never in first place.
Not a chance. Well, I think I was in first place like for half a turn.
No, because I think he had the one. He always
No,
had that
no.
one.
He
At one point I had
Oh,
the
did
most
have.
coins.
I think he had an extra coin.
Oh, did
and
he?
then you
And
ended
then
up
came.
stealing Brandon's star, which
No, no.
then
no,
dropped
no,
you
no.
down.
I'm
and-
talking about when you got. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I went
Yeah.
from first to last, just
When
like
you
Link.
got your
quick.
star,
When
you
you
had one
got
coin.
the 2, when you had 2 and I had 1.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Steve beat me by 1 fucking coin.
Yeah.
1 coin.
That's how Mario Party works.
And that's how you get partied hard. But
Wow. Andrew WK.
so has anybody here? What was the last?
6 on the
6?
GameCube.
4?
No, wait a minute. Was 4.
4.
Because Caitlin owned.
What was the one on
No,
the Wii
Caitlin
U?
owned, 6.
The
I
Wii
owned 4.
U.
Oh,
The one with the tablet.
Yes,
That is Mario Party 9.
that's it.
Damn.
Okay, so that's the one where you get in like a little cart and you move on a board together.
Yes.
I played that one.
That'd be terrible.
That one was fucking atrocious. So this one is kind of
Oh,
more of a
I
return
no.
to form.
Rephrase that. It was the Wii one played on the Wii U. So
Oh,
that,
okay.
7?
8. Mario Party
yes.
8. So this one, instead of just calling it Mario Party 10, they called it Mario Party, Super Mario Party, which I'm like, whatever, cool.
A lot of fun.
Was it? Because you lost.
So
I'm bullshit
yeah.
because
You've never won?
because Donkey Kong is an unlockable character.
Yeah.
First of all,
Dude, you're lucky
why
he's
does,
in the game. Let's just put
what do
that
you mean?
out there.
He's the one of the
he's a
original
key
6.
Mario character.
He's
No,
one of
no,
the original
no,
6 in Mario parties.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have
He's a
to have him.
professional
He's
guy.
in there.
He deserves
He's
a
in
chance.
the game.
That is true.
He's just trying hard. He's
All right, so let's get back to it returns to form. You have right now it's 4 boards. 3 are unlocked. You have to unlock 1.
Oh, is that total?
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be more DLC boards, but I realized there was only 3.
Yep.
There was like your mini game stuff. There's the normal Mario Party. I think there's a single player where you kind of go through all of that stuff. But the crux of it is get a star. Whoever has the most stars at the end of the game wins. What did you guys think of the mini games? Because I really think that's what kind of makes Mario Party.
They also said that these are all new mini games.
all new.
So nothing is from a
they
previous.
didn't repeat any single
No.
one.
No,
It's 100
they're all brand new games. I want to say there's 80.
They don't feel like a stranger. They feel familiar. They're different. No,
I would-
they're different, but they don't feel strange.
I feel like they feel similar to other Mario Party games.
exactly. Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
like a WarioWare type.
Yeah.
And I haven't played one in a while.
Yeah.
Which is why.
Which is maybe why I'm more unfair.
But
Or I'm just.
the
It's
question-
unusual to me.
Do you think that when you were playing the mini games, they felt like, what is this?
Boring.
Is this a different game? Or did it feel like you were playing Mario Party?
A few of them I felt were out
little-
of place.
Which one? The one was the one where we couldn't. We needed coins and the bomb. We were trying to avoid it.
That was like a roulette, basically. So
Yeah.
you just had to ass pound.
No, that one seemed right.
Well, that one I won.
I thought
So I'm a little
Sure.
biased.
I thought the question one was weird.
You lost overall.
That was a weird one, but
It was
the
fun.
balloon one.
The
And it's
balloon
like,
one
yeah.
was bullshit.
Yeah,
That's Balloon
I'll
Gate
give it to you.
2018.
The balloon one.
But
was
we didn't read the
bullshit.
instructions to anything.
No, first off, I read the instructions. to the
No,
Balloon Game. It
they
didn't tell
did
you
not
anything.
tell you.
Yeah, they
because
were a little
we
loose.
all
Hit
pressed
A as fast
A
as
So
fast as
it was
we
like
could.
press blow up the balloon. So
there
we
was
started
no-
tapping the button, but I noticed it said hold. So I was like, hey guys, you have to hold the
I think it's
button.
a
So we all held
natural.
it.
It's a
Ryan was
natural
But
winning.
thing.
nobody told us that it was. I
It
mean,
popped.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be.
I might have been a surprise.
Maybe
Well,
we're all
yours
dumb.
popped.
Mine popped because I
Because you
noticed
held
first
it the
because I
longest.
held it.
Right.
And then I was like, hey guys, you have to hold
Oh,
it.
you hit it faster,
and then you
held it.
guys held it.
Yeah.
And then I blew up and you guys didn't
there was
because
no-
the timer ran out.
It didn't say
Like, hey,
hold it
until
you
a certain.
think it's gonna pop.
There was no
Yeah.
specific direction.
But that's a
I know.
stupid.
Yeah, I agree with
that's
you
a
on that.
kind of a stupid because like we're all going to replicate.
I think it's an okay game. It's actually kind of
if
interesting.
it's tapped.
But- well,
no.
Because if I decide if
they-
I half hold it and then I stop, Steve goes, oh, well, I'm a little bit more, but then I start going again. So it's like this game of like,
Right.
okay.
The only
who's-
problem with that game
It's
is
like a game
who
of
pops
chicken.
who
is-
pops first.
No. The problem with the game is they didn't tell you.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
big
Once
thing.
you know the fucking game, it's fine. That's
Yeah.
actually a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
I enjoyed it.
I also
think it was
thought
good.
I had a blast. I think this board that we played was
A little. We played
It's kind of fruit.
the one we're watching right now on the video. Looks
is Thwomp Ruins
Cooler.
or something like that. We played like Mecha Beach.
Yeah.
It was
played a
just
beach.
No, it was the fruity
Beach, yeah.
Fruity Beach, yeah. It was just fruit.
You know, so I'm a big guy of Mario Party 2. Mario Party 2 is like my comfort food. I've played that. I could almost guarantee that I can beat anybody in the world at Mario Party 2.
probably.
That's a bold claim, and anybody that wants to challenge
not-
me,
You'll
you're
fucking beat
more
the
than
shit out of
welcome
me.
to.
There's no question about that.
But with this game, I felt like getting coins and moving around the board is very. It almost feels dwarfed, where in the first 3 or 4 you have a block to 10, right? In this one, it's a block to 6, and they do this interesting thing where you can have like a character block.
The customization. Those were kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, they are pretty
Well-
cool. So like Waluigi has like a
seven.
-2, a -2, 0, 4, 4, 7. So that's his block. But then Peach might have, it's 0, 2, 4, 4, 4, and then a 6.
So I think the reason they did because it felt smaller than other maps.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think the reason is because of the medium, because of the mobile.
No, I think it's
I
just
think
the
that's
map
what they
we
did. I think that
picked.
the mobile factor of the Switch.
I think if we played
they make
another
a
map,
smaller map.
it was a different map.
But it
I
still
think-
said 60
I think all the
minutes.
maps are that size.
But
I
still
think-
They
60
would, but
minutes.
I think
I think Brandon it might be onto something here because they are pushing the mobile aspect of
Yeah,
Switch.
but it's more of a time limit. Like I said, if it's a 60-minute game, what would it make?
I don't think it changes the size of the map.
If you're at work, I mean, like,
I think it just changes the amount of turns you have, but the size of the map remains the same.
won't you lower it to 5?
I mean they might be the same. But
I
would
think
they
I'm
be
talking-
are they any
Yeah.
smaller than other Mario Party maps?
Yes.
Yeah,
They are very- and
yes.
This is very
It was
small.
dwarfed. Yeah.
This is very
Well, that
like-
one. I just meant in general.
Oh, and to be
Yeah.
fair,
And
we don't
didn't
know.
play.
Yeah.
Right,
But the
that's
map
my
that we-
problem.
but
I
we
feel
looked,
like
we looked through them and they seemed all the same size.
All
To be
right,
fair,
I'll give
though,
you that.
this one looks a little bigger, but it doesn't really like.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
like-
no, it doesn't, because it looks like there's just 4 squares.
Yeah. There's 4 quadrants, just like the fruit.
Yeah, but either way, I think that getting around the board I felt was difficult, even though it is small, because you
To
only
get that
have a
star.
certain amount of
Yeah.
like dice. 6 is like the number the highest that you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it doesn't do 10.
well,
though.
7.
Maybe. Well,
You got
7.
Anthony got
but it's
then
a
there's-
custom.
There's like in the old ones, you can get a gold mushroom, which then you're allowed to hit 3 dice blocks, so you can get to 30, and you can really get across the map.
Well, it had that element though, but because of the size of the map is smaller,
Mm-hmm.
obviously they would reduce how much you can get from a
from an
a
item.
dice roll. Yeah. So
And I think that makes sense. It's just it does feel like I'm playing a
mobile game.
Condensed.
a condensed version of Mario Party.
The mobile. I'll give you the mobile a bit.
Does I could see like this would be a great
Just
mobile-
slightly, like-
yeah.
Well, no. Imagine if you instead of playing on the screen, if you took it off and you were just looking at it from.
Are
the
you
Switch
talking about on the Switch? Because you can do
specifically? Yeah.
You can
that
play-
map would fit perfectly on the.
You can do two, like you
Exactly,
can do,
yeah.
like, switch to switch, and like you can play mini games.
Oh, yeah,
you have to
connects,
then connect.
Yeah, that was the.
Switch
I mean, that was the
screens.
first thing I noticed. You could clearly see the mobile functionality in this game.
I don't know. I mean, like I bought it today because I wanted to play it and just kind of have fun. I don't know if it's a game that I would continue to play. I certainly wouldn't play it by myself. But if we were like, hey, let's do a 10 turn game.
We had a lot of fun.
It was a ton
it was
of
enjoyable.
fun, and I think that the champ behind the camera has to defend his title every once in a while.
So, yeah, we can do it again.
Paul
I think-
McGregor and just
Maybe we'll stream it.
Maybe we'll stream it. Who knows?
Only
if we get a goddamn
if you
Elgato.
unlock.
I can tell you,
Donkey
Cox will still
Kong.
be in last.
I don't know how to if you can Google how to unlock Donkey Kong for me, and I do it.
You got to win.
You have to give me at least one win with the Donkey Kong. Okay.
If we get it.
Yeah, man, he's a professional guy. He's trying to make it in the world.
Yeah.
I thought we hit a lot of question marks. Which
I
you could
did.
see in the
So-
video,
Yeah,
which
and
I thought
it
was
did.
funny because we literally. I don't think there was.
We didn't play a
game.
single
The setup for the
minigame.
question marks. was
Every
shit.
game we played was not a game that was listed.
Oh, those question marks.
Yeah, so when you're shuffling through like a 4-player game, it's like, oh,
suck,
which game
by
are you
the
going to play? Which game are you going to play? Every one that we got was a question mark. I would say every time that we got there was, I would say 4 out of 7 of them didn't have, they had their names, they had the titles of the game. And we
Not
didn't
that
land
it
on a
mattered.
single fucking one of them.
It won't until
It didn't matter
if you
because
unlock all of them.
these are all
Yeah.
new games. But I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was a little strange that maybe that's why they just do it. They're like, just play the fucking ones that we don't have
Whatever,
named.
man.
I did
Okay,
find it
so-
interesting.
This was a fun game.
River Survival.
So there are 4 characters. Do you want me to spoil them for you?
I just want Donkey Kong.
So
Just
Donkey
give it to me
Kong.
straight.
Donkey
got 4?
Kong can be unlocked through the River Survival game mode.
I guess I have to play River Survival.
Well, who's
game.
the other 3 characters?
4 characters.
Well, with Donkey.
Do you want me to tell?
Yes.
So there's Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong,
Nah.
so Donkey Kong Light, Dry Bones,
It's not
who-
Mario Kart. Dry
fan
Bones is-
favorite.
yeah.
and Pom Pom.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Who's Pom Pom?
The guy that throws those things come out of the mouth, right?
I
He
don't.
throws the
He
ball.
he basically just looks like a.
For the folks at home, to unlock Pom Pom, you have to unlock in the challenge road.
Sure. I don't know. I could see this being a hey, let's fuck around at Mario Party tonight type of thing.
Oh,
but
it's definitely a good drink. It's always been a good drinking game.
for sure.
And
true.
maybe we do it on your Halloween party.
That
Oh,
would be
shit.
that would be perfect.
But I'm surprised it's a $60 game.
Yeah,
They've
it
all
does
been.
feel very empty. I was a little disappointed with like the lack of almost presentation, really.
Yeah.
Like it does feel like maybe they didn't rush it out, but they didn't like fully fledge out anything really. Like even with Mario Tennis, like you know what you're getting with Mario Tennis, and it's like, all right, you're getting a tennis game. Oh, they have this weird single player mode that you can play through. Sure, cool, whatever.
To unlock characters. I mean,
Yeah, but like with this, there's no
you can't.
there's no real way to do any of that. So I was really kind of hoping for one more maps. The
Yeah.
mini games I think are fine, but I think you need more maps.
Yeah, you definitely need. At
You
least
definitely
a jumbo.
need You just need variables, right? You need options for a party game.
Characters.
They should categorize the maps into small, medium, and large, and have 3 of each.
Yeah.
Ooh.
9 maps.
I
a
mean,
good
maybe
idea.
there might be more.
That's what I'm-
And who knows? Maybe there's free
There are
DLC
more
to
maps.
come.
That's
We don't know.
Yeah, get Morin in there. We need Morin.
Well, there weren't
These
there
are
unlockable
mainstay,
ones?
really.
There was
No?
one unlockable one.
Oh.
So
yeah.
I just
only-
don't like how Donkey Kong is just you have to unlock that.
I'm
shit.
not gonna lie to
You
you.
have one.
I
even
don't
if you're Donkey
know.
Kong. Let's put
I'll
that
be
way.
honest. I don't understand
You
why
get-
you're still hung up on
Because you
him,
get
'cause I
Bowser
don't like
Jr.
him.
That's who they're like.
I thought the character choices were weird. Sure.
I definitely
No, why
think
the-
that
I mean, those
you-
are normal.
I mean,
Bro.
Hammer Bros
You
is
definitely
a
need-
main.
Because you've never
is a-
seen them before.
I think you need Donkey Kong in there. So I think you need Mario, Luigi, Peach, Wario, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong. Those are the original
Waluigi.
6. You put them in every one, and then everything after that is fun and then unlockable. Like Waluigi was in 3. So
Yeah, they did it in Smash.
Hey, don't try to get Waluigi in
I just
Smash.
meant the way they did
Oh,
that. So
Waluigi smashes.
in the original Smash.
If there's one guy in this world who smashes, it's Waluigi.
I want to talk about this really quick. So right now up on screen, instead of going into a practice mode to like practice the game, it shows you it splits the screen into this smaller
I hated
screen.
it. This was the worst.
Because you lost drastically.
But it shows you what the game is, and you just immediately jump in and practice.
Problem was,
I don't know if that happened before either.
No, it didn't.
No, so
No,
what
it would be a
happens?
So this is
separate
definitely
screen.
new.
Yeah.
So what would
What
happen?
used to happen,
You would have to hit like a button and then press start, and then it would go
It's
into the
separate-
full game.
Yeah.
And then you would play it, but it would flash practice mode or whatever. This, it's just okay. You're practicing while you're it says, you know,
It tells you what the
tells you
mini
what the game
about.
is, what you have to do, what you can do, and then you can practice. And then no one starts the game until everyone hits "I'm ready."
I think that is literally the greatest aspect of this game because that, you know,
That used to suck when someone knew what it was, but you didn't, and they just hit start immediately.
just, you know, and then it would take so much time.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you're just playing it immediately, and then you just start when you want. It's actually literally, it is literally the best aspect I think of this game.
There's a lot of bad blood with
just
these
showing
games.
you
And
Yeah.
There it is. There's a lot of.
and
not bad
hopefully that continues going
No,
forward.
it's friendships.
For sure.
I don't know if Mario Party or Super Smash Brothers ruins more friendships.
Mario Kart.
I think Mario Party is more mind games. I think you know what you're getting into when you play Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers, you're fighting each other.
Yeah.
This game is a Game of Thrones, and
But
you
then
know what
Anthony
happens
just said
when
Mario Kart. which
Mario
is
Kart's
also-
really where we lose everything.
Well, again, but
true.
you know you're competing against each other. This is just a fun, little
You
friendly
see
board
Luigi's
game.
Destiny, you
I
know
think
it's
it's
fucking
the stealing
serious
of the
shit.
stars in this game.
Yeah, it's the stealing, it's the betrayal, it's the
But it's
the
random.
secret, it's the secret teamwork.
Because you also have to make but you have to make decisions. Like
Who do I hate the
decision
most?
I could have made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I stealing coins from?
technically, you
Who
could
am I
steal
stealing a
stuff
star
from everybody
from?
else.
Yeah, and
And
then
then they give you the random, which I chose to do. But I know in my old age now to do that. Because
But like if randomly took from me, I wouldn't randomly take from somebody else. I'd go, well, Steve stole
Stole
my
mine.
coins.
yeah,
I'm going to
I got it,
Steve's.
so
Steve
now,
betrayed
yeah.
me.
Even though he didn't mean to. That's just the game.
That's the name of the game. It's life.
So-
and
It's
death.
also random who you get as teammates.
No, it depends
no, you
on
pick your
what
who's
what-
winning?
No, it depends on what thing you land on. So if you land on a blue
Oh,
and I land on a red, you and I are opposite teams. No matter
I
what.
got you. It's like the 1-on-3 thing. It's the same way. Got you.
Yep.
Like, why is this beaver guy like that?
Monty Mole, don't you fucking
we
dare.
got to keep. You know what?
This level looks.
This level looks
Board
really
looks
good.
great.
Looks better
If we
than
have
one.
extra time after this, let's go into Womp
We can do
Ruins.
it. We probably
Top
will.
Ruins is a
No, I don't like thomp thomps.
really
Womp womps.
good Mario Kart.
Womp
level.
womps.
But I think unless anyone else has any final closing thoughts on Super Mario Party, I think we should kind of wrap up Mario Party in and itself. Did we have any? Wait, what kind of news did we have, Steve? I mean, nothing that really. If I'm not remembering it, is it really worth
The
our
only
time?
news I think I
Switch.
had was that the Switch may or may not get a revision.
Oh, right.
coming up.
Okay.
But
We're taking a commercial break.
it's gonna
no?
be like
An upgrade.
kind of like
3DSi.
no.
I'm gonna just.
People, it was described as
Brandon, can you grab me another beer while you're up?
like an SP type update, maybe.
So you think it'll be? So here's
Improved
my thing.
processor,
I
Tegra 3, and
think
then-
you fix all the. Oh, you don't fix, but you update all the chips inside, right? Because you can't make it bigger.
Well, you do need to
'cause you
fix-
can't
No,
fuck
I don't
with
think
the
they
Joy-Con.
changed the chips.
You
Really?
don't think so?
Just the
No,
RAM.
I think
I've
they'll just
heard-
kind of fix like minor
Oh, the crack.
physical aspects,
the cracking
like
of the,
maybe.
I've heard they're
like
gonna try and
the-
fix the battery stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly make the screen better.
There was rumors of that,
mm-hmm.
and then I think the only chip upgrade they may do, but it might not be even an upgrade. Is like all the other systems have done, is shrink the chip
Mm-hmm.
so it's cooler.
And I could get on board with that, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not-
think
yeah,
I
but
would
you're-
upgrade.
I don't
Yeah, that's what I'm
feel
saying.
like they're gonna change anything that
if you haven't bought one.
I don't think they're gonna do it like a DSi or
I think it would be.
like any
new-
sort of
The
upgrade.
processor.
I think it would be
And specs.
really dumb to fracture the user base, especially while
Yeah.
it's not in a fragile state right now, but it could be in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo, the Switch.
It's a
No, no,
delicate
it's-
process.
I think you're fine because the price point's the same.
well,
they
that's
do
assuming
it. They
that
could lower the price.
That'd be.
The system might be cheaper,
If you get it
at the time.
$250,
Oh, maybe yeah.
and then because what Is it still
It's
three?
three.
$2.99,
So
yeah.
if you get it for $250, you bundle it with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's not going to cost you anything,
Get rid of the old.
right?
And they're talking about doing this in 2019, so they might even be able to, if they drop the price of $250, do this little revision come the new year.
But I like that
They
heard
can get
that
it out.
there's-
They can keep this system going until
Just whenever.
till when they
Yeah.
whenever PS5 and
Xbox 2 or whatever it's called.
Xbox 2, yeah,
The
Xbox 2.
it's actually the Xbox One X1 2. I will take
But
one,
I
Brandon.
Can get one. You don't need to give one to me
All
The
right.
kids would ship
because
it
I
out
can
with
get
it.
up.
Oh, I don't. Can you grab the bottle opener, sir? Thank you.
But yeah, I'm intrigued.
Well, if you haven't, the thing is, if you haven't bought one,
Yeah.
then,
So like
this
I don't.
it's fixing the problems that.
And I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna wait anyway in a way, but I'm not. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But they're talking 2019, I think. So
I mean, right
But
in
it's-
time for Prime 4.
that's a good point.
The
Should be
catalog's
have-
pretty
what,
good
What do you
right
mean?
now.
It's already. It's gonna be out in a
this
month.
year.
So I'm just jumping on this, but I'm assuming you're talking about like the Xbox One X, but the Switch
No.
back. I'm really working on the Switch back. I think that's gonna be what it's gonna be called.
We really just think they're going to focus on making it slightly cheaper and making the chips slightly smaller to make everything cool.
Just everything
Improving-
cooler.
yeah,
more.
Better-
just kind of
Just
Better teraflops?
refining the
flops.
design.
More flops.
more flops,
Not even
less
more
Terra.
flops.
I got a fever.
I think it's
Chips is more
fine.
flops.
I think the revision is going to be great. I mean, not the revision. The next Switch will be.
When it upgrades the specs
think-
and everything.
I
Well, they're not
think
gonna call it the Switch. I hope.
Yeah, they
They might.
Like
I-
Switch 2.
I
I could.
Super Switch. I don't know
I
what
could
they would
see-
call it.
Oh my God, Super Switch. That's perfect.
Well, they do the Super NES. Yeah.
Yeah,
Done it.
that's like.
Well,
boom.
they did the Wii U.
You should pan that
well,
shit, man.
that wasn't.
Yeah, but
They should have.
I mean,
They
they
should
should. It
stick
should have been a
with
different
this-
name. But
Yeah.
No, you should write a letter to Nintendo.
I wrote like 5 when I was a kid. Yeah.
They never got back
Like
to
an,
them.
as an
No, they all got
They
back
always
to me.
do.
Did they?
Yeah.
I still have.
was it in
them,
Japanese.
That's awesome.
Well, I would ask them. I go, "Hey, I want more information about the Super Nintendo," and they would send me like,
Just like an article or something.
no, they'd literally send me like
Specs.
A packet of.
like very nice printed like pamphlets,
Yeah, they did. They actually
information.
did.
Like I got so much shit from them.
That's awesome.
They're very
I was
customer-
so
like,
interested
yeah,
in
they
like,
are very-
okay, I want to know the specs and more information about the system, and they
so
were
Little
weird.
7-year-old Steven?
Yeah.
I was older than 7. I was probably 10 or 12.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, now in the age of Twitter, I figured it's like
97,
tweeting like.
probably around N64 time.
Okay.
I figured just people like tweeting on the toilet. It was like the joysticks are too small for my thumbs.
Actually, that's a good point.
We'll write them that. and
You
it's-
have big hands.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I've got
Wait,
small
is this
hands.
actually a problem that people face?
it is.
I was asking Anthony, like, do you have issues playing with the
with the single.
Joy-Con?
Actually, it didn't. I'm gonna say it didn't mess me up in any mini game.
Well,
so-
that's true. I mean, you didn't come in first.
Whoa, let's back it up. You're in the same category as me.
Yeah, I'm.
Sucking
Brandon
the-
came
sucking
in
the
last.
medal. Yeah, Steve came
No,
in
no.
first.
First off,
Don't-
I was
No.
Yeah.
sucking on that
don't-
gold medal so hard.
Don't paint that picture because I was doing very well for the majority of the game,
you
and then the
still
last second it was taken from me.
I'll give you that. We were all a little concerned that like
We were a little
Yeah.
concerned that Cox was going to come out with
Because
the victory.
historically, I'm not
Come
good
out
at
with the big W.
I'm not good at games. It just seems
and
I'm
nothing
just.
changed. It's the same as it was before.
But when you paint it like, oh, you were lost. No,
You did lose.
I
Accept
was
the
like,
loss.
Hold on.
I was like a
There was
runner
4
who was
players.
like winning.
No, you did lose.
Yeah. I mean,
well, yes,
because-
overall I lost, but I was doing pretty good for most.
You
part.
went from first to last.
Maybe,
Yeah, but
maybe it
you-
was a moral victory for yourself that you were kind of almost winning at one point.
Well, yeah, when you paint the narrative like
But it was really me,
you
Anthony, and
lost.
You
really-
did.
You know what?
It
I'm not even gonna
it
lie.
doesn't-
I really thought you were gonna win at one
Yeah,
point.
it doesn't. It doesn't
We
give
know.
me
I
justice.
think we all thought that.
Yeah.
With Wario, who's a creepy son.
No,
of a
we're
bitch.
not. We're
But
not
the
getting-
character
no,
doesn't
we-
have.
Yeah. There's nothing. The
It has
dice
nothing
roll.
to do with that. It's just the luck.
Yep. The game really kind of comes down to skill in the mini games
Yeah.
and complete luck.
Luck, yeah.
Because skill in the mini games is like 20%, luck is 80.
Oh no, I'm just saying as a character, Wario's gonna.
And just
luck.
who's the bigger
If
asshole.
anything,
Kinda.
the world's against Wario.
Or just who's playing smart.
You
I mean,
need to
there
play-
is a little
There
bit
was
of
You
like-
need,
there
to,
is.
you need to
There's
leave
like
your
a
heart at the door and you play all with your
There's
brain.
like a 10 to 5% like heart thing
Steve
about
did.
it.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Who
lie.
can like
He played smart.
because you got to steal stars.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
hurt people. You're gonna hurt
You
somebody.
gotta stab people in the front instead
Yeah.
of stab people in the back. You know?
Well,
You got to do both. Actually,
You're always planning on stabbing somebody in the back. When push comes to shove, you stab them right in the face.
my motto.
you never know what day it's going to be because you get into the room with somebody and they
Yeah.
have a bad day.
Steve,
They're going to start
Every day.
throwing punches.
every day for me.
Well, with that, I think we're
Haymakers.
gonna move on from Mario Party and stabbing people to a nice little segment that we have.
Metaphorically stabbing.
Metaphorically
Yeah, that's
speaking, of course. We have this nice little new segment that we're gonna hand on over to Brandon Cox. It's called Brandon Cox's Soapbox, and it is basically whatever Brandon has on his brain. He's gonna bring a topic to us, and we're gonna have a nice little conversation about it. So, Brandon, please tell us what you have for us this week.
So I've had a topic that's been burning me for a little bit. I've been watching art history documentary on Netflix, which I do.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That
occasionally.
sounds like I'd fall asleep.
Well, I've been poking you
Guaranteed snooze
all.
fest.
I've been poking you all week to watch it.
I will
but you
not.
don't watch it.
You have a better chance of me buying Assassin's Creed.
God, that hurts me. But that's
Which one hurts you more? Dave's not gonna
Little does he know I'm not gonna watch or buy
Yeah.
it. So
so.
maybe I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
As I was
watch it at
gaming,
the same time.
I thought of something. I thought, well, I noticed paintings. When someone sees a painting, they think, it's art.
Sure.
buy it. They might not.
And I thought, how do you define art? And by extension, are video games an art form?
Mm-hmm.
And that is my question for the panel.
Okay.
My stance,
Yes, I was gonna ask, what is your
How do you
stance?
feel?
I believe video games are art because I believe a major aspect of art is intent.
Okay. So
I would elaborate on that, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Sure.
No, I want to hear you elaborate on intent.
Yeah.
What do you mean by intent?
So if you take a painting or a piece of music or a work of fiction,
let's just say a novel.
a novel, a lot of times we don't know what the artist is trying to say. We have to reach back through time to suss out what they're trying to say by what they have provided us. Even though the artist may have not known the intent when they're creating it, we are trying to almost reverse engineer what they created. And by that application, we try and see what the processes they've done and the intentions they have used to produce it. And I think that's how
But I meant to ask, do you actually know the actual textbook definition of art?
there
do not.
is there a, I would hope there isn't.
Yeah, I don't think that there is. I'm sure there is a definition of art that Steve could look up, but I guess while Steve's doing that, I'll just kind of define what I believe is art, and I think that art is anything that moves you. So I actually think that some of my favorite art is architecture. Really, I don't
that.
but I don't think buildings are art whatsoever. But I think that it's something that moves you, and it clearly has some sort of it's something that within you, and then that's what I define as art. Is you see something and it touches you in a way that maybe you can't describe it, or maybe you just think it's beautiful, or maybe even you think it's ugly. But that's still, if you have some sort of critique or some sort of initial thought about it, then I believe that is art.
So I was gonna say, so I came before the podcast saying I don't believe video games are art anymore. But that's not entirely true. I think thinking about video games being art has ruined video games. I
Rather than
think video games themselves, they're games. And the idea of everybody thinking about them or trying to make them art has made shittier games. I think, literally right now, that the reason why I have problems with something, say like, what's the zombie game I played?
Left 4 Dead.
Left.
Those zombies ain't my neighbors.
No.
The Last of Us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like Uncharted. And I always make fun of you for the movie games and shit like that, or Telltale stuff.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
because
First-hand experiences.
which I call which they're game. I mean, I call them not games, but they are games. But they're text adventures.
Yeah, they're an evolution of point
Right.
and click or text adventures.
And which is fine. I would just say, well, call them text adventures. Like The Last of Us, you go, oh, that story's great. And I go, yeah, but it's not like a movie. Or it's trying to be a movie. I think that's what's ruined it. I go, I want to play a game. So there was, for me, and this is what I didn't mention before, there was a conversation on a podcast I listened to with the creative Earthworm Jim was talking about,
How he came
they
up
were
with
just, the guy that was doing the interview, the show's called The Dick Show, but it's like a Howard Stern type show where he just does shit. He just talks to people, and
His name is Richard.
No,
But-
he's just a dick.
yeah, pretty
Whose
much.
name is not Richard? It's not.
Yeah.
No,
No.
his name is Dick Masterson, but
That's
also an alias. But
okay.
he's a huge fan of Earthworm Jim. He's probably 10 years younger than me, older than me. And he had a conversation with the Earthworm Jim guy, Doug Tenenbaum,
Sure,
who's the creator and the graphic designer for the game.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
And they had a kind of discussion. Like he goes, I think art ruined. I mean, the conversation of art ruined video games, and they had a kind of bit of a discussion about it. And I go, well, I never thought about it that way that they were describing it. And I thought it was interesting because it was all like, because they both go, I don't play video games anymore. I'm not interested. Because his idea, I mean, maybe it's nostalgia for them, but their idea was, you pop in the cartridge. It doesn't have to be a cartridge, but, and it's just, you go and you play. And then you say, oh, I'm going to play for 20 minutes, and then
Move on to something
16 hours later, you realize, oh, shit, I was only
how
going
it
to play
rolls.
for 20 minutes. And that, that doesn't happen anymore. And I think that's a very arcade thing, too. It's the idea of,
Okay.
like, you're just pumping quarters through a machine because you're playing. It's
For
the
high
game.
score type deal.
It's
or-
not about necessarily the story or, I mean, there's, you can have a character that's something and, there's some sort of something, but we're losing. It's just too much of not doing anything,
Yeah.
I think.
So-
So that's kind of my point.
I get a question for you.
Sure.
Because you raised an interesting point. One, the way you described it, it's almost like art and video games are separate, right? That art is somehow hurting video games.
I
Well,
think
if video games are art, it wouldn't hurt it because it's
I think
like
it's
existing in it.
If you
for me,
always-
it's the idea of these people want to be
yes
artists.
Okay.
in this kind of medium.
above video games when the
Yeah.
sole purpose of it wasn't that.
No.
They're trying to.
I think it's
I
just
can't slam it. I'm gonna say
kinda-
slam it in, but there's.
Well, that's
Another
the
word I
other,
was
that's
looking
that's
for.
the other thing as well. The
Jam
other
it.
the other thing as well. You're describing how.
Sneaking.
Correct me if I'm
Sneaking.
wrong, but you're describing how the functionality takes away from the art form, right? Now, this is actually a very good point. In this room, Brian created a piece that is a chessboard that's made of stone, and it's something that it functions as a chessboard, but it's also an artistic piece.
That's true.
That's very true. No, you're right.
Where are you going with that?
What I'm saying is, if anything, the functionality, the reason it's a piece of art is, in that case, in that specific case, is the functionality.
You see, I disagree because I wouldn't look at a normal chessboard that I bought, Milton Bradley chessboard or whatever.
So
I
you
wouldn't
manufactured.
consider that art.
But it could be. If
But-
the intent was there.
But my
no,
point's
but that's
also-
but that's the problem is you're saying the functionality of a chessboard makes it art, which I disagree with because the functionality of a chessboard makes it a game.
yes,
The art in that chessboard
Here's where it
is
gets
the
gray.
work
he
that's
did.
put
Yes.
into it
And that's my point.
and the intent behind
I'm
it.
Because it also
suggesting-
doesn't ruin the game.
Yeah.
Because I think my greater point is the focusing on
the art rather
the
than,
categorizing
it as art rather than the functionality of it as
or pulling like
it has
the
a
idea
dual
of not-
nature.
I mean, I
That's
think
the-
we're having the problem when they're
here's
not
what gets
focusing on the
Yes.
game, and everybody wants to be all
So there's-
basically hoity-toity about it. Be like, oh, I'm doing this great piece of work, and whereas some of the best games ever made, you could consider them works of art, but the game came first. Like I love the way Super Mario Brothers 3 looks. I think it's I think that is potentially a work of art because the idea of it is a play. But that didn't come first.
Yeah.
Everything about it, and then if you wanted to say games are work of art because of game design, I would be behind that.
Yes, that's exactly the
that's
point. Like
kinda-
you could take Super Mario Bros. 3 and
But that's not.
freeze-
I'm gonna be honest.
Well, freeze
that's not
frame it.
happening anymore. So maybe they were.
So
Games could have been art. I mean, maybe
in essence, games have
maybe
a
that's
dual
why
nature.
my mind has changed because the
Right?
games I have played,
They have a
the
dual
few
nature.
I have,
They have elements
recently
of
have not done that, and that's my issue. And I think
But I think that's also
everybody's getting
a
to
broader
Yeah.
technology kind of.
right, and that's the problem.
Wait, so just to kind of go back.
Let's go back a few layers.
So you're suggesting that games were once more artistic than they are now? I'm just trying to suss out what
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with saying that for right now, and I'll
Also,
be a hypocrite.
The
So if
Google
I'm-
No,
definition
let me
of
miss.
art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as a painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. And then to the various branches of creative activity such as painting, music, literature, and dance.
And like I think the problem, and I'll say here's another thing because it's got music in there. I'll say it's tough. Video games are tough because you got so many of
Other elements.
so many. So like music,
Or writing. I mean,
there's no fucking way you ever convince me that the music in like Ocarina of Time isn't art. Because
I would
those are
say
some of the
that-
greatest songs ever written, or like even
I would
I'll
say
always-
any soundtrack to any video
There's
game.
been
is-
lots
but
of
some are
soundtracks
just
that
like
I will remember. I'll remember them over the games. Like I'll have
That
more
is true.
feeling for them.
Ori and the Blind Forest. I love that
Yep.
game.
It's a good
But
soundtrack.
I think of the main theme. I can't. Or this
Child
is
of Light.
perfect. I love Banjo Kazooie. You all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge banjo guy. But I can tell you, I would say once a week, I am walking down the hallway at work and I am humming Gruntilda's Lair. And I'm just humming it audibly. It's not like it's in my head. I'm humming it like somebody whistling while they're working.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that I will never forget that song. And I think it's because it's, maybe it's because I played it and I fell asleep to it. And it's,
Or it's just a good
emotional,
song.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like SimCity on the Super Nintendo. One of the best things about that game is that fucking music.
Yeah.
And the woman who wrote it is unreal. Like she's writing fucking Beatles shit.
So
And shit like that. So there's all that kind of stuff. The music, well, because I'm a music person, so that makes it more for me.
and you firmly believe music is art.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
But you don't believe video games are art. Now.
I'm not. Yeah,
But
I don't
video
know
games
anymore. I
have
don't
music
know
in them.
anymore.
So you're questioning your beliefs, Steven.
Sure.
Well, no. So here's what I'm trying. This is what we're kind of reaching out to, right? We're
Well, this is the conversation.
we're around the
Yeah.
edges of it, right? That video games have artistic things in them,
Yes.
but by their nature, they are not art.
Yeah.
I'll take a stab at it. I'm going to say yes, they are.
Why?
Because I think that video games in and itself, my definition is art is something that moves you. So whether that be the music of a video game or just the visual stimuli, graphics, right? So like Steve was saying, like he thinks a freeze frame of Super Mario Brothers 3 is gorgeous. It's perfect pixel art, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to disagree with that. And I think that's art. I think, and then I think gameplay wise, right? You play this game, it invokes joy, it invokes frustration when you die. All of these different things, down to a very mechanical level of zeros and ones. You press A, you jump. You hold B, you run, or vice versa, whatever. These are all things like a perfect example, right? Is Spider-Man on PS4. How did you have and Anthony is the most robotic, stoic person I think I've ever met.
All right.
Did you smile when you first started swinging in Spider-Man?
It was fun. It was absolutely fun.
And that's what I'm saying. Like there are mechanics, there are things that can kind of, even the most stone cold killer
But you got to
will
remember,
smile at a mechanic that is introduced.
All right.
even on the opposite end, you could still get games that play on the emotion of curving certain other emotions that maybe, like you said, like it's one like violence. If games have that emotion to curve that, that also plays on, is that art? I mean, it's also, you also remember the creation that goes into everything. Like when you make a game that's original and you do that, you do artwork for it. You, like you said, you create everything from the story of it to the
concept art to the writing, which is then art as
in
well.
In order to create an emotion. And some games divide the line with like...
Well, go ahead. No, sorry.
Go ahead.
We're all very
Well, I have a question.
very polite right now.
I have a question that might help you out.
Well, I also wanted, because you mentioned intent.
Yeah, my question to Brian's going to get back to that in a sense.
Okay.
My question to Brian, and I guess for everybody,
to the council.
Yeah.
but more specifically you, is so you described it in the way of how you feel. But what if, because art is a creative means, what about the person making the game? If they feel something when they're making it.
All right. So
Is it make it
So-
artistic?
well,
that
Here's-
was my intent.
or are they just making a product?
Because I was going to say,
Yeah. I figured that's what you're
so what is if Shigeru Miyamoto says games aren't art? Or any, he doesn't believe that. And but that's his intent.
Yes. But I challenge that.
That's right. But I'm just, saying like, because there are lots of developers that say no, and especially
Recent.
further back.
It's older people that were doing this really cool thing.
Yeah, they
that
don't
was
view it
kind
as
of-
art, and he's an artist because he is an artist because he draws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of these people are.
Well, even from the original
and this
Super
is
Mario
where I
Bros.
think the
You saw
divide comes
concept.
from.
But what's he doing with-
we've just talked about this.
What's he
There
doing with
are
his drawings, though, right?
artistic elements that go into games.
Yes.
Like Brian, graphic designer. That's art. No one's really going to deny that.
But yeah, why?
Kind of hard.
So
and
why?
music's
Why do we draw these lines? Why is music art? Why is drawing art for some reason? It's like we have some sort of predisposed disposition.
'Cause when
Like,
you
oh,
say
well, that's a
game-
painting. That's art.
Well, it's your
that
classification.
architecture. That's
when you
art.
Say game.
But
because
that's-
I think games, because you have to then
Movie.
define,
That's art, right?
Yeah, sure.
Acting, art,
It's an art form. Yeah.
dancing is a.
I think then you got to define.
But why do we say games?
It's a different medium.
I
I think we have to then. I mean,
How is
for
it
me,
different from human creation? Art is human creation. Why are we drawing this line here?
Anything's human creation.
But everything's human creation.
it's-
Well, that's true too. I mean,
Not trees. Trees aren't human.
But
creation.
you're talking about intent.
They were there
And I think
before.
Yeah.
the original intent of games are to have fun.
Yes.
Their goal wasn't to be. I mean, I'm using your definition. The
display.
goal wasn't to be art. It was just their games, their time sucks, their puzzles, their whatever. They're supposed to be fun, and so like to turn them into this because we looked, we just read the definition of art, but mine would kind of be it becomes more serious or. I want to say serious because that's a bad word to use because music should be also fun and stuff like that. But then it gets treated as something that it's not.
Yes.
And
But it's a different That's a different art.
You know,
right?
I don't know.
It is a different art. So my thing is, so when you have the person who's creating the thing, right? When the caveman was in the cave and he was painting on the wall, he was doing it for a number of reasons, whether it be a religious experience, whether it be to express something he saw in the day, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then we took that and we saw his intent and what he wanted, and he was trying to show us something. That's all that games are, is they're trying to show us something. They have a belief, they have a feeling of what they want to do, and then we experience it. Because that's what Brian said. Art
if you're gonna,
is experiencing emotion.
If you're going to call...
Whether it be for anything, whether it be happiness, fun, joy, sadness, sorrow, or
I think
regret.
We won't solve this.
No,
but
and
not
I don't
tonight.
Think, I don't,
no.
and I don't think anybody will
I
ever
know. But
solve
my
it.
point was going to be, if you want to call creation art,
Sure.
I'm not against that. But then, so you can call creation of a child art, creation of life, or just anything, any sort of you can call creation, making a bookshelf, woodworking, any fucking thing art.
Yeah. But I think
there's things
I think that is art though, because if you're working with wood and you're actually building it. So and maybe this is me, but if I buy a bookshelf from IKEA and I put it together, not art. But if I cut the wood myself
and design,
but then you have to say,
but
what's the difference from? Because then you're just kind of saying,
it's almost
that's
like
a piece of shit
the
game.
The difference
the
is
IKEA's a shit game.
No, the difference is intent. That's the
well,
difference.
hold on, time out though.
Well, no,
but
'cause when
the
they
person
originally-
that designed
IKEA.
the person that designed that bookshelf is an artist, and they were creating art. Me, I'm not creating art. I'm just building something.
But it also served a dual purpose.
That's true. Which maybe that's what games are. I'm not
duel.
creating the game.
Yeah, but you're also
But then
talking
I'm
about the
playing
IKEA
it.
shelf from the good, say, bookshelf you built, quality wise.
Well, you know what? I like how you say that. I like how you say IKEA, because when you think
Ubisoft
IKEA,
is the IKEA
no,
of
stop
the
it.
gaming industry.
No.
Shit.
When you think IKEA, you think functionality. I want to go back to the functionality thing, right? That functionality. What is the functionality of a painting?
Emotion.
There you go.
That's for me. I think that it's to
Evoke emotion, right?
I think that's what with all art. I
But
think
for
that's
now,
most
when
part,
you
or
take a
it's-
building,
There's lots because you could say nostalgia because
well, that's
or whatever.
emotion. That's emotion.
It's all actually you're right.
but
Yes.
a building.
So go on.
You were saying
When you look at a building, what's the functionality of a building?
it's to house people.
Yeah.
It's like livability.
But is that the only functionality a building has?
No.
Technically, shelter, yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
When you make it, when
That's
an
fundamental.
architect,
Its main
actually,
purpose.
that's not true.
Its
Well,
main
no,
purpose.
its main purpose is to house people or
Correct.
things.
But,
But
when you look at when someone designs a building in a certain way by someone's certain feeling or the way they want it built, because they want. Well, let me just
A
go.
Bastille.
In terms of architecture, there's a lot of things that don't need to be there. Some are just visual stimuli.
It's plenty on my house.
which
know?
I agree is art.
So when you bring it back to gaming, it has this multiple faceted thing of where it contains art and it contains functionality. But while there's elements of functionality, it does not take away from the artistic aspects of it. And yeah, there may be
Great analogy.
Thank you. There may be an overall issue. There may be an overall issue of how people define art, and there always have been.
And there always
you
will
know,
be.
paintings that have been in vogue at a certain time are not in vogue anymore, or vice versa. At one point, Van Gogh was thought of being a barbarian because his stuff was ugly, and now it's considered
Well,
some
this
of
is
the
a great
most-
Doctor Who episode.
that was a very good Doctor Who episode.
It is where he goes back. They go back in time, right?
And they
tell him
how he's considered the greatest artist of all time.
And he loses his shit. And it's actually Like, I haven't seen the whole episode. I've only seen that scene, but it's like an amazing scene.
And it's a dangerous
But that's why
argument.
I don't think that you should label art.
We shouldn't define it because it's a metaphysical thing, right?
It's all subjective.
It's a thing in the ether that is better than us.
Well,
but
you're funny because
humans.
You are the only person sitting here that hasn't made art.
Also true.
We know that.
Maybe you but you
back.
aren't active at it. Me and Anthony are both musicians.
I'm not active at it.
Painted.
I think being
Self-painted drawing.
and then Brian's a graphic designer.
I know. I think being.
I just think it's funny.
I'm a professional doodlist.
And then you're arguing. I just think it's funny. I mean, I don't know. I'm not putting you on the spot.
I'm
just saying. I think it's funny that you're sitting here with 3 like artists,
daily artists.
Yeah.
We'll just call ourselves that.
No, I'm going to say this. I
will have a song coming out soon if you want to.
Check that out on
I majored in
SoundCloud.
history, and I think that's my art. I do. No, I really
right.
do. I really.
Don't look at me. I'm looking at you. You look at him.
Fine.
Just because I define things that have actually happened doesn't mean there's no interpretation or intent.
I think that's your area of expertise.
No. I'm serious. The problem. So me and Brian had this argument. The problem with art history is
it's the worst.
the people today who are defining things that happened a long time ago. We're trying to define people's intent that we don't know their intent. We can never know their intent.
That's my argument,
right.
By the way,
we have point A.
Yeah, we can.
We have
We're
point
not going to talk
B.
about that yet because I could go into that.
Yeah,
I have a huge issue with people redefining.
I know.
What intent
We can discuss that
in the past, but we'll do that off.
But hold on. So you have point A, you have point B, and the job of a historian is not to just look at the facts because you don't always have the facts. You have to make a bridge between 2 things of information that you have.
but you can't present those as facts.
No.
That's the issue that I have
Correct.
with art history.
But you do. As a person, you do put your flavor into that. And
but again, your flavor could be wrong.
Yeah,
it could be. And
plenty of historians have different. Like Ken Burns has his.
Ken Burns makes an amazing
Yeah, that
effect in After Effects. Don't you dare sully Ken Burns.
I'm just saying, but
is Ken Burns an artist?
He brings you from point A to point B in a very smooth motion.
That's a tougher conversation. Well,
Why
it's
is
not
it?
a tougher conversation.
This is
he makes documentaries. You don't do that yet.
Yeah, Ken Burns
when you get on your soapbox to do your videos.
When he edits videos using Adobe Premiere and After Effects, he is an artist.
Does he use Adobe Premiere?
I guarantee you he does because
he made the effect before that was an effect.
It's actually a Final Cut effect.
Oh, well then.
I believe so.
Well, it definitely is a Final Cut effect. I think it was. I'm not gonna lie to you. To do a Ken Burns effect, it's really fucking simple. It's take the image, start it here, bring it down here.
You just put an arrow.
Within 3 seconds, you're done.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but it's effective.
Oh, for sure. I know. I'll never trash Ken Burns.
No. I'm
I
talking
like
about
what I'm saying to you.
But he has his opinion, his flavor on history. I mean, Prohibition, Civil War.
Exactly. And
Vietnam.
It's this fact-based thing that as a person, as a human being, you're putting your emotions and your feelings into it, and that makes it artistic. Doesn't matter if you're using computers.
I think that makes it your opinion, not artistic.
I mean, if you're gonna get in the conversation, like we've gone on the tangent.
Well, no, not opinion. I'm not. Like, I'm staying my opinion, but like
if you're gonna say you're a historian, what's more important?
Historical fact
or
your thought
on it. And that's where I have the problem. And I'm okay either way. You have to make it clear.
Yeah,
I definitely need to know if it's like you want to like tell me what you think happened with it.
I feel like you're baiting me, but I know you're not baiting me. But
if you were to talk about Starry Night and you were to say fact. It was done on this. It was used these types of oils or these types of paints. These are the colors that are used. These are all facts. Here's what I think.
I'm gonna stretch myself as someone who studied history for a long time.
Sure.
And I don't want to because now it's public knowledge. Historical fact, in a sense, is a fallacy.
Sure.
We can never know. We can never know 100% what actually happened.
Yep.
Yes, and I agree with that.
But it's our job, based on the information we have, to gauge what.
It's my problem is how far off of 99% you go.
Some people go very far, and some people are more grounded, and that's the human element.
I think
of it.
I don't want to speak for Brian, but I think.
And no, back to art.
Our points are. You need to say. Not even how far off you're going. Just tell us.
You can't.
Are you giving this your spin?
You don't know. You don't know.
But
you need to say
can't present
if
it
like
as a
I
fact.
have data that says this, but this is what I think happened, rather than just going through it and saying
this is what
happened.
But back to game is art. You don't believe games are art, or you could be swayed either way.
I could be swayed. I'm not opposed to
Well,
anything. I'm open to any.
You're open to almost any sort of.
Because I kind of do think that used to think they are or whatever, and I don't not think they are. I guess actually, but more recently I have not thought they were.
Brandon, do you think games are art?
Yeah.
That is all you need to say, because we had already had all of your previous statements in our discussion. So you don't need to reiterate.
But I guess the question is, has anyone's opinion
no
changed?
More questions.
No.
I would say mine's maybe.
Oh, well.
I've always been maybe.
Yeah.
Which
means he hasn't changed, because it was maybe at the beginning, and it's still. I believe games are art, and again, my definition is anything that invokes emotion can be considered art, and so I think games have invoked emotion in me, so I consider them art.
And they've definitely done that. I mean, for your definition, they've done that for me.
Exactly. And I think that's where you have to draw the line, is where you define it.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah,
Anthony?
What's the intent?
I believe they're art.
Okay. And I think we're going to be done here. I think that's going to be it for under your thumb. Wow. We haven't done that in
Wow.
And wow. I think that's going to be it for another great episode of the Tangent Podcast. I hope you guys like what you heard. If you guys like Brandon Cox's Soapbox, please let us know on Twitter, because that is the best place to do so. You can tweet at us at PXLPTS or at Tangent_podcast. For myself, I am at It's a Me BT. Anthony, you are?
At Margin_Arabesque.
I'm going to hit it.
Cox.
At BCOX1776.
At Steven_Sale.
And if you guys have a question or a topic that you guys would like us to talk about, please send us an email to Brian at PXLPTS.
I'll tweet him.
.com or tweet directly at me. I will respond, I promise. And
You won't.
no, I will. I definitely will. And I think that's going to be it for another episode of the Tangent Podcast. I hope you guys like what you heard and like what you saw, because I certainly did. We'll catch you guys next time.
On the tangent.
Steve, get us away from here. Get us away from here.